Hi guys, a while ago I uploaded a video of me showing off playing Game Boy Color games on my TI-Nspire CAS calculator. At the time I had planned on making a tutorial video, but the tutorial didn't work out well, so I decided to scrap it and just not record it or upload it. Seeing as recently Ndless was updated for version 3.1, at least a beta of it, I decided why not make a video of me installing it first time on my version 3.1 installation. So on the left you can see my calculator, and on the right I've added a few details. Firstly, the name of the thing you need most is Ndless. The operating system version for the Nspire is version 3.1. If you haven't updated already, you will need to download the program for that. The program is called TI-Nspire Student Software. Now, it's a 30-day trial, but you only need it for a day or two anyway. Once you're done, just uninstall it. You probably won't need it again, unless you want to copy over games. But we'll get to that when we need to. So the emulator for Game Boy Color games is called gbc4nspire. Here is the website for downloading Ndless off ticalc.org. To download it, you can just click this link over on the left where it says file name. Once you've downloaded that, extract it to a folder, and the same goes for Game Boy Color for Nspire. There's a nice little animation of what it looks like on different versions of the calculator. Now, the first thing you'll want to do is unzip it, and what you'll see is this folder here for Ndless. Now, in here is a README file. I know you guys probably won't be able to read it from that screen distance, but I can, and I'm going to be describing what to do anyway. So the first thing you'll want to do is open up the README file. It has a few details, but over here, I'll also include this in the description and add an annotation to it, is a link to the user guide. Now, this user guide will tell you exactly how to do it, and I'll walk you through it as well, just in case. So this is what the page for Ndless looks like. There's also a download link for Ndless here. I haven't actually taken a look at it. So there's a different link, a different way of getting to it. But personally, I recommend using the ticalc.org link. You can use this one if you like. It probably is exactly the same. If not, I'm going to be using this download link anyway because I've already downloaded it and extracted it. So, once you've downloaded Ndless and extracted it to a folder so that you have calcbin, SDK, src, changes, the public license, the particle demo, and the README file, then you'll want to open up the README file and go to the user guide. In the user guide, it tells you what you need. So you might so it says any linking program such as the student software. There are other programs available, but seeing as the student software is the official way of doing it, I thought that would probably be the easiest way to do it. So what we're going to start off with is to install it. It tells you exactly what you'll need here. So it says on your calculator, now I'm going to split this screen so I can show you exactly what I'm doing here. It says create a directory called Ndless on the calculator. So what we're going to do is in here I'm going to right click and create new folder, and I'm going to call it single E double S. I'm just going to delete a folder that I was trying to use earlier. So now you have this new folder, you're going to open it, and this is the Ndless downloaded zip. Once you've extracted it, this is what it looks like in here. Of course, it does look slightly different over in the downloaded file because it includes the README. But because the calculators can't handle text files, they can't handle images, this is what you'll see. So instructions say send the files Ndless resources from the calc bin folder. So we're going to open the calc bin folder, and you want Ndless resources so you're going to copy that over, and the Ndless config. Now I don't see the config file here. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's in here or not. It's in there somewhere. If not, I'm just not going to use it and see what happens. If it asks me for it, I will have to take more of a look around to find it. So now that we have the Ndless resources copied over from the calc bin directory, dismiss the OK. Then locate ndlessinstaller.tno. So I want the TNC. You're about to upgrade your handheld operating system. Any unsaved changes will be lost. So before you do this, be sure to save any documents that you have open on your calculator. What we'll do is we'll take a look at my calculator and see if I have anything open. Yes, I have a document open. No, I don't. But if you do, it is quite easy to save. You can just hit Control Menu, I think. No. Control Home, File, Save. Another way to do it is click the Control key on your keyboard and S, and that'll show you the file Save As menu, and you'll save your file by naming it whatever you want. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click Upgrade. I don't understand why the config file isn't in there. While it's installing, I'm just going to quickly check whether this is a different zip or not. Depending on the calculator, it'll take a different amount of time to update. And if we take a look at the calculator screen, it says Ndless successfully installed. Always keep Ndless resources. So that's okay. Now the application itself has given me an error that says handheld is not responding. Obviously the calculator received it, but who knows what happened there. Next, what I'm going to do is continue following. Yep, this one doesn't have any differences. So what we're going to do now is we're going to continue looking at the instructions. The calculator will display a pop-up. The linking software will display an error message. You may have to close and reopen to use it again. I don't seem to have a usage problem unless it gives me an error next time I upload something. So if you've forgotten to dismiss reception and can't dismiss, okay, that's it. Installation is reboot proof. Don't delete the Ndless resources file. As long as you have it installed, you need that file. Next, what you want to do is find your Game Boy Color for Nspire installation, and in there all you have is just the emulator file. Now what I like to do is I go to the calculator. Alright, maybe I will have to restart. So exit. It'll only take a moment. Then start the program up again. Continue with trial version. And it's up again. Has it found my calculator? I'll open the calculator and the files are there again, which is good. Now you can either make a folder called games, or you can make it emulator. You can call it Game Boy. I'm just going to call it Game Boy Color. I'm going to use the Australian spelling as well. I'm not going to use the American one. Now we have a folder called Game Boy Color. You might have it differently. Double click on it to open the folder, and all you want to do is copy the file over. Nice and quick. It's a very small file. And if you have any ROMs, being for example Super Mario 4 in my case, you'll want to copy those over as well. I also have a save state from when I last played, of course, and that, make sure your ROMs have a .tns ending, otherwise the program will tell you can't copy the file. Your calculator doesn't accept this kind of file. So you want to add .tns to the file name. If you don't see file names, then you'll want to press Alt to see this bar up here. Go Tools, Folder Options, View, and then untick Hide Extension for known file types. Once you've copied them over, we're going to switch back to the calculator. It'll say it received the file. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to our documents. We're going to open the new file, and you're not going to run the ROM. I know that's really hard to see. You're not going to run the ROM. You're going to run the file there. Once you have selected that file, hopefully, it'll ask you if you want to save your untitled document. If you do want to save it, save it. If not, you'll reach this Game Boy Color for Nspire screen. This means two things. One, you installed Ndless correctly. Two, you installed the emulator correctly. Next thing, if you copied over the files correctly, they have to be in the same folder as the emulator, so make sure it's in its own folder. And now we have the single ROM in there. You can use up and down to go through the ROMs. I've only got the one Super Mario. Of course, I don't have any sound on this either. I don't think any of the calculators don't. That's too bad. If you have a color calculator, maybe you're lucky enough to also have colored ROMs, but with the old calculator that I have here, and most might still have if you're in year 12 or 11 maybe even, or if you've got a calculator from an older brother or sister and you're in year 10 or whatever, you will have this version. Instructions might be slightly different. Be sure to check the Ndlessly.wordpress.com user guide. I will link all of this in either on the screen, along the sides, or directly in the description. So here is our emulator, or the menu in the emulator. What we're going to do is we're going to click OK to open up the ROM. So I'm just going to double check the controls because I haven't touched this in such a long time. You can find the controls. I'll just switch folders here before I do anything else. You'll find the controls in the README that comes with the Nspire emulator. So the controls are down here. The D-pad are the arrows. Escape is the A button. Tab is the B button. Caps Lock is start. Clear is to select. The home button will quit. I'm just going to scroll this over. And this is for the click pad. This is the one I have. If you've got the touchpad or the new calculator, that's the one you want. But home will quit, and the buttons look to be almost exactly the same. So save state and load state are the two in the corner. I'm just going to rotate my calculator so I can show you these buttons. Now down here, a while ago, I realize it's upside down, but this will exit. No, it won't. The home button will exit. This one will save the file, and this one here where my nail is will load the file. As you can see, ls. That used to be exit, but it isn't anymore according to the README. So always be sure to read the README when updating or whatever you're planning on doing. So here's the ROM. I'm going to use the controls that I've been told are the right ones. So as you can see, so tab shoots. Okay, so escape is to jump, of course. And as you can see, I am now playing Mario. The same instructions for installing a ROM works for every Game Boy Color game. I'm not sure about newer calculators, how they handle the ROMs and all of that, but as you can see, this one works fine. I was even able to load my old save game. I didn't go very well though, as you can see below. I have 1 coin and 3 lives left, so not very well. But to exit the home button apparently is what it's telling me. So I'll click that and it'll take you back to home. Now, as you can see over on here, there are currently no files open. So when you open a ROM, it closes the current document. Be sure to save your document if you plan on using that same document later. If you're like me and prefer to use the scratch pad to do most of your stuff, then you shouldn't have to worry. But if you're doing more extravagant stuff like tables and spreadsheets and all of that, then you will need to save your document. So once again, that's the Game Boy Color folder. There's the emulator. You can rename the emulator file to anything. What I did a while ago, and I will probably... Alright, so if you still have... I didn't know this, but if you still have the calculator plugged into the computer while you start up the emulator and start up the ROM, your program will freeze for a moment while it finds the calculator again, if that wants to. So, again, those are the files. Be sure to add a .tns to the end, otherwise it won't send. I do have a few other games I plan on reinstalling. We can actually check. Desktop. I had a folder on my calculator called Other, and as you can see, that's what I used to name my emulator. I don't actually know what document 1 is. That is most likely the particle demo. You can see over here. It's most likely that particle demo, and that's just if you're not planning on using the Game Boy Color emulator, but you plan on using something else. That's what you can use to make sure you installed it correctly. So as you can see here, I have a bunch of ROMs, or actually I don't have any ROMs. I've got save files and I've got state files. Now these state files are made using the EX and 10X buttons, which are load and save. Those are the state files. The save file is created either by the game when you click save, or automatically when you press the home key to get out. Obviously I don't have any other ROMs here, otherwise I would show you a different game. But the same goes for every ROM. The instructions are fairly simple. If you had any problems with it, either let me know in the comments, or if it's just something you might have done incorrectly, rewatch this video. If you had problems, do comment, because if I know what's going on, I can help you. If not, I might be able to direct you somewhere else. There might be a forum. There is a troubleshooting guide actually on the Ndless WordPress blog. If we take a look here, it does have a troubleshooting guide with an extra letter. So it even shows you how it should look if you accidentally didn't grab the right one. It tells you here, in my case, I grabbed TNC because I have the CAS version. You might want one of the others. So if you have any problems, be sure to check ndlessly.wordpress.com for any extra instructions. There are a few programs listed here that you can use to try out. This one looks a little interesting. Copy pasted based on calc. It's a Luau code editor. I don't actually know Luau code. But of course there's the particle demo once again. And you can easily go around here and look around, see if there's anything that interests you. If you're looking to write a program for the TI-Nspire, then maybe this site is for you. But in the end, if you want to play games on your calculator, you'll just need Ndless and gbc4nspire alongside your TI-Nspire version 3.1 operating system. You can get the operating system and the software from education.ti.com, as you can see on the right, and both gbc4nspire and Ndless can be found on TI Calc, but I will link them in the description so you don't have to go looking for them on the website. So that's how many files are in the Ndless installation. It's a lot, but a few of them are for developers. The only files you'll really need, and this is back in the zip file before you unzip it, the only files you'll really need are in calc bin. You'll need Ndless resources, and depending on which version of the calculator you have, as specified by this guide here, TNO is for the classic calculator, the TNC, which is the one I used, which is this one here, is for the TI-Nspire CAS. If you've got the color one, just the CX, that's TCO. And of course TCC is for the CX CAS. There are a few other samples that you can try out on the calculator, but that's all from me for today. So do leave a comment if you have any questions, if you want me to do a second recording with simplified step-by-step instructions without a live video. And thanks for watching. Be sure to recommend this to your friends if they're interested in trying out some ROMs. If you're looking for ROMs for your calculator, you can just get regular game ROMs off the internet. I'm not going to show you how to do so because there are a number of websites, and technically it can be counted as pirating. I'm not going to get into that. You can just do a search, and be sure to rename your ROMs to have a .tns file name, otherwise your calculator will not recognize the file. And have fun, because that is mainly what this is for. After this, I'm probably going to go and download some more ROMs, or find the ones I used to have, because I do miss playing Pokemon on here. I've never been good at Mario. So, thanks for watching, and see you next time.